Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Flesh and Blood stream. I know it's a little bit later than usual tonight, but we got back from dinner with my parents tonight, and I wanted to get in a little stream. Continuing my stretch with Dromai here. I'm trying to, good lord, trying to get my reps in this week. We're at 9 games total so far, so want to keep going, want to keep pushing, see how far we can get with the Dromai deck. See if we can keep pushing and see if things start to feel better over time. My card? Diablo, are you playing Fortnite? I was like, I think Carly's getting on Fortnite. I was like, I don't know if you're playing Fortnite or not, or if you're playing Call of Duty, or what you were up to, man. Let's see. Okay. Gotta get that set up. So continue and play with the same list that I've been playing. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and jump into a game here. See what we can find. I just like we're so right now we are at 9 games. And I'm 8-1 so far. So hoping to continue my roll, or hoping to continue my streak so far. All right. Ben's doing a hydrate. We got to make sure we stay hydrated. Ben, using those channel points, you love to see it. Let's let our opponent know that we're boarding. So I think this is a Seeker's Mitts and Crown of Dominion matchup. I think we just want to try and gain tempo where we can. I don't think we want Remembrance. What's up with my collar? Hey, Carly with the Prime sub. Subscribe for 19 months. Now that my sub button's back, I am excited to have my sub button back on YouTube. But baby, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate you using those Bezo bucks on me. We're gonna cut the dust. We're gonna cut. I don't really know if Tumultai is that relevant here. I think we cut Necria last time for sure. We cut Thermise because they don't seem that important, and I think we cut Passing Mirages. No, I think we left in Passing Mirages. I can't really remember. I guess let's just run the 63 card special. I don't think there's really a problem with having more cards. Drink more. I can do this 20,000 more times. Dude, all right, listen, Ben, I'm going to put you on a cooldown with the hydrate over there, bro. Good lord, I can do this 20,000 more times. You can do. Did it give you all of your channel points back when I got my sub button back, Ben? That's awesome if it did. I guess let's just go ahead and do this. Let's put this on the bottom. We're probably just going to Arsenal the Tome and see what we can come up with here. I mean, Building Mirage is a good card, but we're probably... All right, so we're going to go Ravenous Rabble, and then we're going to throw the Miraging Metamorph. And then we're just going to Arsenal the Tome and try to set up just a little bit here. Rake the Ember is looking to be pretty good right before, like when we're going into a turn with 2 Ash and a Tome. So looking like a pretty good turn. They're also running Nebula Blade, which is really interesting. Wonder how many poppers they have in their deck. Like, they'll probably pop this. I was like, it's complete, like, gain of value for them to pop this. I would pop this if I was them. Like, I don't get any value as the, Dromai player for them popping it here. You bet your ass it did. Well, dude, I'm glad you guys can have those points back to use. Found your channel right before Battle Hardened Pittsburgh when I was looking for Fi. Ran into your list. Unfortunately, was only able to go 4-3, but love your content. Keep up the great work. Doug, thank you, man. That's super kind of you, man. Thank you for the kind words. I really appreciate that, brother. I appreciate you coming by the channel, man, and letting me know that. That means a lot. I was like, it's nice to... It's always nice to know that people enjoy my content, man. So thank you. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry I only went 4-3 with my list, man. I was like, do you feel like it was my list, or Do you feel like it was like, something else, like maybe like some like I don't know, like outside factors, or do you feel like the list wasn't that great? I was like, I'd love to hear like any kind of like revisions you might have had for the list, and like how you think that might have, like, it might have been better served in a different way. I guess we'll leave that on top. Snatch is a pretty good card. And then I guess, like, I kind of want to stop the on-hit effect here. Hey! Look at Carly! Using those Bezo bucks and then gifting a sub. She's the best. She is the best. I guess let's just go ahead and ship this to the bottom. Anybody who knows Carly will definitely tell you that she is the best part of the Zach and Carly duo. I was like, anybody that knows us will tell you that. I guess let's just play Rake here. Like, seems like a pretty good play to like try to get on the board here. We'll still have an Ash left, and we can start to try and like accumulate a little bit of board presence here. I'm gonna have to get a bigger cup if Ben's gonna start hydrating all the time. But that's okay, we got bigger cups. I can make it work. We have yet to even see a dragon, which is really interesting. My chair is squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. I have 193,000 channel points. Good God. That is absolute insanity. It's really cool that it gave you guys your channel points back, though. Like, I actually think that's, like, really cool. I guess we're just gonna play the Fate Foreseen and see what's on top. Or I guess I'm not gonna play the Fate Foreseen. Interesting. We need to have something for 150k or 100k. Hey, listen, I'm always open to suggestions. What do you think would be well served at 100k? Let's see if we can find something with some go again here, maybe. Like, our hand's looking like not that promising. I kind of like this line. We get to put Mirror Guy into play. We get to attack for 2. It's 2 no Phantasm, which is really important. And then instead of attacking with the Ashwing, because it appears that they're trying to play board control here, instead of doing that, we can actually just throw our Snatch here, which just gets a card and Ether Ironweave out of their hand more than likely. But I do think this is a decent play. We're setting up a relevant dragon that they have to deal with. We have a tome in our arsenal that we're just kind of hanging out on, and then and like we're just setting up a little bit of board presence here. I had some clunky hands with 3 blues, but mainly it was my knowledge against my opponents. I lost to Bolton, Katsu, and the Mirror. Okay, I mean, it's fair. So, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the whole triple blue thing can happen, and it's a little unfortunate because, you're only on, like, 15, like, maybe 16 blues, like, after sideboard. So it's a little unfortunate to, see hands line up that way, Doug. And I don't know, like, how many of, like, my streams or, like, videos you saw, but that did happen to me more than once. That was something that, happened, excuse me, on more than one occasion. Like, it absolutely did happen. So I was like, it's definitely something that can happen to you in a bad spot where you draw multiple blues and, like, it just feels really bad. And, like, it's a whole thing. Does this say if it hits? So they get to kill a dragon and make a rune chant token? That's not too bad. So I was like, yeah, I get that. The whole triple blue thing can be bad. And losing to Bolton, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't feel like that should happen super regularly, but I could definitely see that happening there where you, like, lose to a Bolton or something like that happens. Katsu's honestly a race that I think Katsu is a little favored in, if I'm being honest. Yes, we're definitely going to be pitching 2 cards. so activate Furnace. So we get to have a pretty sweet line here. But yeah, Doug, I get that. Like if you're like I would say that like in any card game almost, like knowledge of your opponent's strategy is extremely important. Just all the way across the board. So I completely get how like that could be hindering, and then like you pair that with a couple of like, you know, awkward draws along the way, and you get into a rough spot. I don't know if I'm lagging here or what's going on. No, it's not me. My opponent must be debating on whether they want to respond to me activating Furnace. Like, they're not playing Prism. They're not going to flash an Arclight Sentinel. So we have a pretty cool line here. We get to play Uvia, make an Ash, go down to 3 Ash, and then we get to play Kyloria, go to 2 Ash, and then we get to pitch Kyloria to attack with Billowing Mirage for 3. And then we get to transform the Ash that we just created into an Ashwing. So at this point, we'll have 3 Ashwings, a Kyloria, and an Uvia on the field. So, and I'll start by attacking with the Ashwings to try and put pressure on our opponent. Man, my collar is like killing me tonight. Also, if anybody's in the chat tonight, I don't want to just claim victory. My opponent might be lagging, so I'm going to give them a second here before we like, you know, like I just like actually like claim victory over them. Like I'll give them a second to try and come back here. But I mean, it's like this is setting up quite a big board here, and we're putting some pressure on. So I feel like this is like a pretty good like swing hand for us. But what I was saying is that if there's anybody who's like participating in Worlds in the chat, I would honestly be amazed if you're still awake. But if you are participating in Worlds and you're awake watching this, then, you know, good luck. I hope you crush it. I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope you make a lot of fun memories along the way. So, bro, Burrow's done something to his hand. He couldn't hold the ball on the sideline after that TD. Oh God, what happened? Did he run one in, or did he did he run one in, or did he throw one and get hit as he threw? Like, what happened? Don't know, just know he's hurt. Oh man, that's the worst. All right, well, I guess we're just going to claim victory and go on with our lives. I'm definitely not going to count that as a win in my log. I don't even know what that is that we're getting rid of there. Definitely not going to count it as a win in my log of games, but we didn't play enough to like really know how that game was going to like fold out over the course of the game. So I don't really know what would have went down there, but I feel like we were going to win. I feel like that's probably a matchup we're favored into if I had to guess. So that's just me guessing though. He threw one and then immediately grabbed his hand. No hit or anything. Oh, wow. So he threw it and that happened? That's crazy. That's actually crazy to think about. Bop their internet. That's another way to win games. When I'm streaming, that's, I mean, hey, get a lag switch for the old Talishar client. That's something to do. I'm going to go fill up my water actually real quick. I will be right back, guys. 1 second. Okay. Let our opponent know that I'm boarding here. Okay, so this feels like a Crown of Providence matchup, which means we definitely want the Seeker's Smiths here, I feel like. Remembrance might be necessary here to like try and like fat stack our deck. Probably don't want Tomes if I had to guess. Necria again feels kind of weak. Dominia, Tumultai all looking pretty good. Thermi, they're not really like they have defense reactions and stuff, but I don't really think that's like where we're wanting to be to like try and stop their game plan here. Sandcover, Sink, and Fate all seem really good. They play against everything very well. Honestly, the Dust doesn't seem that impressive to me. Like, we can cut Warmonger's Diplomacy, and then Passing Mirage is probably looking to be pretty good here, so we're probably going to leave these in and just run the 62 card special. I don't hate this. So we'll try it like this and see what happens. The Bolton match, they caught me with double Lumina Ascension using Sensari Tabers right after I took them into the teens off my big turn with Mask. Oh, I mean, dude, Doug, like that's like super unfortunate, brother. That is super unfortunate, man. Like, I'm sorry to hear that. That is not good at all. And like, I hate to hear that, man. That's the worst. That is like the worst, dude. I have been there though, brother. It's definitely a way you can lose games. Tumultile on top of the deck, huh? Part of me wonders if I want to, like, mitts that to the bottom. So the fact that they're playing Crown of Providence tells me they're definitely not trying to fatigue me here, so... I guess let's pitch Uvia to make an Ash, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pass here, and I'm going to Arsenal the Rake the Embers in hopes that I can... The Caloria blocks 3, so if I need to, I can block with it. That's right, Ben. There are balloons in Fortnite again. Update your Fortnite, Ben. I was like, I know I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty lately, but I'm probably going to be back on the Fortnite train pretty soon here. I'm actually pretty excited to like jump back into Fortnite, honestly. I know that the season's only going to be around for so long, so I definitely want to get all my games in while I can. So this is just a shakedown for 6, and they're going to Arsenal a card here. So if I block Burn Them All and Caloria here, I can pitch the Tumultide to play Rake the Embers. So they want to take the Tumultide here, and I'm just not going to give them that opportunity. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the bottom. I was like, and we'll just pitch whatever we draw here. I'd rather put the Tumultide on the bottom and be prepared for that late game. So I'll just pitch the Command and Conquer to play Rake the Embers. And then... I guess I have mitts, so I'm okay with this. It's a little aggressive here. It's a little aggressive to give up all of my Ash Wings, but I have Seeker's Mitts here to bail me out, so... That's right, Nightbot. Let them know to follow, brother. Let them know, Nightbot. Mostly just because you get on under Ben's skin. Overall, though, I thought the list was solid, and it was a great run for the weekend, and I learned a lot. Well, dude, that's awesome. Doug, I appreciate the feedback, man, and I appreciate you telling me about your weekend, man. I hope you had a lot of fun in Pittsburgh, honestly, man. I was like, I've had a lot of fun at like bigger tournaments and just like playing and like friends and, you know, dinner and all that kind of stuff. So, man, I hope you had a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you liked the list, even though the weekend might not have went the way you wanted to. But I'm glad you liked it. I honestly still think like ninjas are in a really good place in the current metagame. I am just kind of like swapping around a little bit and like, you know, like letting like I'm like right now I'm letting like members on my YouTube channel, and now it's going to be subscribers on my Twitch page also are going to be picking what I play on a week-to-week basis. So I'm swapping it up and playing, you know, playing what the people want. So trying to keep it interesting, to say the least. I'm just gonna say no blocks and take 1 here. I can block with both the Ender Eyes if I need to, which is very important to note. So because that had already hit. So we'll just give a Yinder right here and take 1. I'm okay going to 39. They're not really prioritizing the Ash Wings, which I get. They're probably just going to look to pop them later on. But the dagger could have very easily have hit one of those, and I think that would have just been the correct play overall. Pitch Yendera to play Sweeping Blow to go up to 2 Ash and then have the sand cover in my arsenal seems like a better play. Lets us play a little bit more defensively, and we know that they're looking to play more offensively because they have Crown of Providence, and like they only have Arcane Lantern and they're playing Crown of Providence, which means they're looking to play a little bit more offense here than they are defense, and they're not looking to like super fatigue me or anything. So, and then we'll start throwing Ash Wings. Oh, they did kill an Ash Wing with the Spider's Bite. I thought they didn't, but they did. I was very curious because I was like, why would you not just take that? Like that's the obvious play here is just to kill an Ashwing. But they did. They made that decision, which I think is correct. I'm just gonna play the Fate for Scene here. Yep, we're just going to play the Fate for Scene. We're just going to try and stop as much damage as we can here. The Sand Cover lets us play around the Command and Conquer swap in here without us actually having to play it before we know anything. Asvala is a good card. I guess we'll leave that on top and try to like set that up and get it onto the field here. Try to get a little bit of offense going. This is going to be a Leave No Witnesses if I had to guess. Leave No Witnesses for 7. I honestly think the play here is just to say no blocks. Play this hand cover. And take 3. We'll pitch the Snatch to... Ooh, interesting. This makes me wonder if they have like a Codex. Yeah, this screams Codex to me. So this way we take 3, go to 36, and then they get a card. They get our Asvala that we left on top of our deck. Which is a little disappointing, but I mean... I assume we have an attack here. We're getting the Sweeping Blow or the Rabble here. And they got a Death Touch. So if I keep this, no. Doesn't really matter. The Death Touch is quite a bit of damage here, so I'm actually just gonna... They have to use Tunic to be able to play their card here. I'm just gonna block efficiently, I think. I think that's our best line. So, Flamescale Furnace, and then Snatch and Passing Mirage here. I could alternatively take 4, go to 32, keep the Passing Mirage and play it, which I actually kind of like. I don't know, if they give us an Inertia token, I guess we're just going to play the Rabble for 3. If they give us an Inertia token, which is fine. Like, it's better for them to give us the Pox token and put us to 30 here, but if they do decide to do that, I have a Rabble here. Like, there's no consequence of me, like, playing it this turn. Only the -1 from the Frailty. So we'll just go ahead and play Passing Mirage and pass. And then, yep, we'll go to 30. So now we're down just a little bit, but as long as their turn's not like super explosive here, we can really try to like turn this around and have a little bit, try to swing the tempo back in our favor here. Let's go ahead and write this down. We're playing against Azuri, and we went first. We don't know the outcome yet, but we know we were forced to go first. I assume this is going to be coming at an Ether Ashwing here. Like, it makes sense that they would kill an Ether Ashwing. No, this is just coming at me. I'm just going to activate the mitts here. We're going to pitch to Lost in Thought. We'll put that on the bottom for sure. Glad we opted that to the bottom, so we'll prevent the damage so we don't actually take anything. And then we can still block efficiently if we need to here. Just all depends on what our opponent has. I'm just going to block 3 and hope it's not a Command and Conquer. But we haven't seen any Command and Conquers, so pretty decent chance here that it's like Command and Conquer. It could also be like Surgical, or I was like, yeah, it could be a lot of things here, but that's okay. It's a card that we had already lost access to, so it's not like it's the end of the world by any means. We'll throw Ravenous Rabble. Reveal a Sand Cover. Not too bad. And then we can actually throw the Ether Ashwing with no Phantasm because of Passing Mirage. So yep, and I like that this has no Phantasm because of the Passing Mirage, because this is a this is an illusionist attack, and the last attack that I played was a Ravenous Rabble. Our opponent goes to 32, and then if this hits, we actually get to make an Ash and then transform one into an Ashwing, so we get to keep our 2 Ash that we have moving into our next turn, which I would say is a pretty good turn, like pretty fair turn cycle for us all the way around, all things considered. Of course, our opponent may just not let this hit. They may decide that they want to... Our opponent may decide that they want to block this out. They probably have some number of defense reactions in their deck, if I had to guess. They also probably have, like, they could also just give us, like, Crown and a 2-block here, depending on, like, it's all about what's in their hand and what their hand looks like. Yeah, we're 33 minutes in, so an ad makes sense. Okay, waiting for the ad break to end before we really went any further. Our opponent's blocking with a Crown of Providence and a Shred. So they're covering this up, not giving us the extra Ashwing here. And they're going to be left with 3 cards in hand because of the Crown of Providence putting their arsenal on the bottom. Now, again, I'm going to assume this is going to be Spider's Bite killing the Ashwing here, but my opponent may feel that they want to attack me. Nope, they do come at the Ether Ashwing. I was like, I know at some point they're going to have to here. Like, if they let this sit around long enough, they'll be forced to give it a popper instead of, like, a card that they actually want to, and I think that's better for us. Infect at the Passing Mirage. Let's play Invoke Dromai here. I will attack with the Dromai. I like this because it lets us keep our action point regardless. We're gonna Arsenal the Dominia and really hope to like draw a tome in the next like turn or two. I might have cut the tomes because they don't block. I think I did cut the tomes because they don't block. And I'd rather have like blocking cards in my deck almost at all times. And then we'll throw the Dust Up because we get to keep our action point here. and this is very relevant. We're gonna end this turn with 2 Ash either way here. Either we're gonna pitch the Sand Cover to the Flamescale Furnace and then Arsenal the Dominia. There might be some argument here to pitching the Dominia to Flamescale Furnace and keeping the Sand Cover to play a more defensive style strategy, so that we can play around like Azuri reaction and some things like that. But in order to play Dominia, we're gonna have to have it in our arsenal, or we're gonna have to like 3rd cycle pitch stack it, or like there's not many options for us here. So yep, so we'll go ahead and transform one into an Ashwing, and then I'm just gonna pitch the Sand Cover and go for a little bit more of an aggressive play here. And try to get this in Arsenal and try to set it up a little bit here. Yeah, man. I was like, Carly gifted a sub earlier to the stream. I was like, and you were contestant number 1, Hal. You were. So there are definitely attacks over here, but since our opponent doesn't have Crown of Providence, what I'm thinking here is that if we go pitch Sigil of Solace to play Invoke Mirror Guy, we can attack with the Mirror Guy and then pitch Nourishing Emptiness to activate Furnace to play the Command and Conquer. And then hopefully that can buy us enough tempo here to try and get our Dominia in play so that it like forces our opponent to have an awkward hand. Yeah, man, Carly's the best. I was like, dude, she's awesome. I could also just like keep all of my hand and like play the Dominia here, like pitching 4 cards, but I don't think that's the best use of our turn. Attacking the Ether Ashwing here. So our opponent's actually doing a very good job of like putting pressure on us and trying to keep stuff of ours off the board. Now, we're like slowly whittling their life away here, so we're like slowly pushing here. This is a lot of damage to just take, man. Like, I'd have to go to 18 just to like try and have a swing turn. Really wish I had a defense reaction. If I did, I'd give Crown and defense reaction and put this on the bottom. I mean, technically, I could give Nourishing Emptiness and Crown this away and then still have my line where I take 1. Honestly, I don't hate that. I honestly don't hate that line. Put this on the bottom, and we draw blue. And we only have 1 Ash, so it's a little awkward, but it's still a play that we can make. So technically or we have 2 Ash. It's technically a legal play. So it was like, yeah, it still works for us to be able to do that. Anybody from your team at Worlds? The Vor Brothers are local to Phoenix and are there. Oh, dude, the Vor Brothers are really good. I was like, I see them playing a lot, and I see them top 8ing a lot. No, there's nobody from my team at Worlds. I was kind of hoping that one of our, like, somebody from our team would like make it to Worlds, but it was just too expensive, and like, you know, like nobody wanted to buy a PTI, so no, we didn't put anybody at Worlds. I know we got at least one guy going to the PT. I'm hoping multiple going to LA next March, but no, nobody at Worlds, man. I'm excited to watch Worlds though, dude. I don't know about you, Hal, but I am pumped to watch Worlds, dude. So I think I'm just gonna lose an Ash here. Go down to 1 Ash, attack with the Mirror Guy because it has no Phantasm. Am I gonna have to reload here? The Mirror Guy got stuck on the right-hand side of the page. So we put our opponent to 26, and then I'm just gonna play the Command and Conquer. I'm actually gonna Arsenal the Sigil here, which is a really good play because it makes our opponent think that whatever their Arsenal destroying card is a lot stronger. And it makes it, and it just like, it gives us like such an advantage that maybe they take some damage here or take a different line in hopes of making their Arsenal targeting card better for them. And it just doesn't, because Sigil of Solace is so good. Even if they have like a random Exude Confidence, we can still play around it before Exude Confidence hits the chain. You can play around it. which is honestly pretty cool. So Hal, I meant to ask you, man. I was like, I went and followed your channel yesterday, I think. I meant to Tuesday night, and I just got caught up, and so I went and followed your channel yesterday, man. When are you gonna start streaming? When are you gonna start streaming Flesh and Blood, man? I'm stoked, honestly. I'm honestly curious to see who all streams Fab this weekend, or if anybody streams Fab this weekend. I mean, might not be anybody streaming Fab this weekend with Worlds being this weekend. I mean, I'm gonna stream this weekend, but I was kind of debating that letting this weekend be like a heavy like, you know, Fortnite like / Call of Duty streaming weekend. But I'll probably still play some Dromai games. Like maybe try to stream after Worlds is over and stuff like that, like after it's gone off the air for the day. Okay, so this is 5 at me. So if I block... If I block Yenderai, I can play Dromai. What do I have? 1 Ash. So I can... I can play Dromai and then pitch the Invoke Mirror Guy to play Billowing Mirage and make an Ash or an Ashwing depending on what I need to do, so I can block with the Yenderai here. Because I imagine they're going to kill the Mirror Guy with whatever they're doing second. And if they're not, I would honestly be kind of blown away. Like, Mirror Guy is just like such a good card. Yeah, okay, kill the Mirror Guy. I was like, yeah, like killing the Mirror Guy seems like top priority here if I had to guess. I will be streaming soon. Want to simulcast Worlds a bit, but I think you're onto something with just watching the VODs. I mean, dude, like if you're having like a watch party or something for Worlds, that would be awesome. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I won't be awake for it, so like just being honest, I like World starts at like 3 a.m. I definitely did not want to transform that. I'm like having a stroke right now. God almighty. So I think it's better to play this and add this to the board and then play the Dromai. And then let's attack for 3 with no Phantasm, and then we'll just pass and try to force them to deal with both of the dragons here. I mean, dude, if you're having like a watch party or something, man, like that'd be awesome. I was like, dude, I'd totally be down to like, again, like going back to like the point of like, if I was awake, I would be down to like do something like that. But I think like, I'm curious to see what the viewership is like for Worlds, just because of like how tough I think it's gonna be for like them to have viewers at 3 a.m. Like it goes live at 3 a.m. Eastern time, which I guess like what is like midnight your time. So it goes live tonight at midnight for you, Hal. I think anyway, if I'm thinking of it correctly. I was like, for me, it goes live at like 3 a.m. and like I'm just gonna be honest. I am not built that way. Just not built that way anymore. Like I can't do that and go to work tomorrow. Like I'm past that point in my life. Oh man, those days are past me. Which is kind of funny because like I don't really feel like I'm that old, but man, I act like it sometimes. So play Caloria. I'm debating throwing Snatch with my snaps here just to see what happens. Like throw the Snatch with snaps and then throw Caloria, Arsenal the Miraging Metamorph. Honestly, I think is the best play here. Gives us multiple. So it gives us a couple opportunities, because if they decide they want to let the snatch hit, I'm just going to snap, and then I'm going to pitch whatever card I draw to play the Miraging Metamorph to set up an extra Ash. I could have just taken the safe play of pitching the snatch to like play the Miraging Metamorph here, and then that way I'm guaranteed to have an Ash on the board for next turn. But I'm playing a little bit more aggressively here, like trying to like really take some tempo here and like put our opponent on the back foot. But you guys know it doesn't always work out that way. Your opponent sometimes, like if they block a little awkward or make different decisions, like can give us tempo in certain spots. It's also worth noting that if our opponent is going to fatigue us, they're doing a pretty good job at it. We have 30, if you count the card that we just pitched, we have 34 cards in our deck, and our opponent's at 26. So we're like almost at halfway through our deck, and our opponent is still at 26. Opponent's nice enough to let us know that they're thinking. And Kyle's playing Call of Duty. You guys can't see all of these notifications just because of my face camera here, but I was like, it's letting me know that Kyle's playing a little COD. Wonder if that's what Carly and them were playing. I think Carly was was pretty excited to play the new Fortnite update. Gonna give me flick knives here, huh? Honestly, I'm okay to just like take this and pass. Like just not get value out of my Caloria. I mean, there's another snatch left in my deck. Like I can always like snap a Miraging Metamorph if they don't pop it. Like there are multiple options here for me as far as everything's concerned. So like I'm not super worried about like that. The idea of like, you know, using snaps to like really make my Caloria worth it here. I'd rather them have to like throw cards at me in some fashion. Because my turn could very well be block with, you know, like block with Command and Conquer. I don't like the isolate. The isolate is a little frightening here, just being honest. So, and they're attacking me. They don't have snaps, so they're just planning to use Caloria this turn. Or they're just planning to leave Caloria on the board this turn. Let's block Command and Conquer. I think that's a better play. I think we want to keep dragons in our deck. Let's block with Command and Conquer. The isolates are very good, and I don't have a defense reaction here. No Fate, Sinks, or Sand Covers, so big Sag. Let's see. They've seen 2 Command and Conquers, so this could be the last one. So this could also be like a Shakedown, or... Yep, I mean... They gotta Rake the Embers. And... This is an interesting hand. So we have to play Burn Them All, and then just attack for 4 and 1 Arcane. We're going to pitch the Caloria to the Flamescale Furnace to give ourselves an Ash here, and then we're going to play the Remembrance and shuffle back 3 cards. We have another Remembrance that we put on the bottom, so we just want to make sure that we're keeping the cards in our deck that we need. We want an Ash, and then I'm just going to go ahead and play this in hopes that we draw some good cards. So... freaking go. You love to see it. I love that noise. God, me saying that's so funny. Yo, Matthew, with the sub on YouTube. Welcome to the stream, man. Thanks for being a part of it. Tell me about yourself. What's your name? Where you from? And do you love Flesh and Blood, my friend? Rake the Embers seems really good. Chromai Mirror Guy. Actually, I think I just... yeah, Chromai Mirror Guy and... let's just go Chromai Rake. I think that's our best play. Let's go ahead and get rid of a Snatch. This hand's not great. In fact, I'm not really a big fan of this hand at all. I mean, If nothing else, our hand is block Command and Conquer, block Uvia. I think taking 2 is fine. Honestly, like, I think we're just always taking 2 when that kind of stuff happens, so... Let's freaking go. You love to see it. That came from a stream one night when I was playing against Rhinar, and my opponent rolled a 1, broke gloves, and rolled a 1, all in the same turn for me to win a game that I was gonna lose. And so, like, I just immediately clipped that and was like, yeah, like that's going on the old stream. Was just like too funny not to, in my opinion. Like, so let's block Uvia and Furnace. And then let's pitch Dominia to play Billowing Mirage, and then we'll Arsenal the Command and Conquer. And then we'll also come in with the Ashwing that will create off the extra Ash that we have. And then the Command and Conquer will basically give us a turn where we can block 6. We can block 6, and then we can actually, like, just throw the Command and Conquer off of 2 reds, so... Which, you know, I can understand. Not too shabby. I wonder what the differences is in the views there. Guys, thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate you guys being a part of the stream. Oh, our opponent wants to take backsies, which is fine. Appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I know it's a little bit later than usual for my streaming schedule. I know I normally start around like 7 Eastern time, but we had a family dinner tonight, so was hanging out with my family a little bit tonight, and then we got back and figured I'd play cards for a couple hours, get some games in. I need to keep practicing with Dromai. Like, the more reps I can get in, the better, in my opinion. So, all right. Well, I mean, slowly but surely, we're like running our opponent out of poppers. Hopefully, that is always hopefully the plan, but you never know. So I'm just gonna take 1 here because I don't want to like block with Tumultai or Asvalai here. Is this a Codex for a Leave No Witnesses? No, it's a Death Touch, actually. It is. It's a Death Touch. Not too bad. Not too bad, opponent. I mean, Death Touch for 9 is pretty good. Yo, Max, what's going on, buddy? How are you tonight? What hero do you think will win Worlds? Brother, I'm going to be honest, man. That's a tough one, Hal. I really don't know. Like, if I'm just being like completely straight with you guys, I don't know. Like, I think like the big picks to win Worlds are like, let's bottom that, are like Bravo, Dromai, and honestly I think Dashio has a really good shot at winning Worlds just because of what just because of like how powerful like her hero ability is. I think that like a Dashio that kind of runs hot could do really well. But yeah, Azalea with Bullseye Bracers unbanned is extremely dangerous, Hal. And like nobody's really like, people have been like kind of talking about Azalea but not playing a lot of it. So I'm curious to know if like Azalea is just gonna like is the sleeper pick for this weekend and people are just gonna run hot with it. But I know that Azalea struggles into like Bravo and some stuff like that. So I don't know like how she'll do with like, I think Bravo is going to be a very popular choice this weekend. So I don't know. Like I'm curious to see how it goes. Excited to see. I'm just excited to see what does as well this weekend. But I would say that like if you put a gun to my head, Hal, and you said, hey, you got to pick a deck that you think is going to win, I would say Bravo. Now, God, I don't know. Yeah, I would say Bravo. Honestly, like Bravo's so consistent. Bravo's like good. It has game into everything. Like it's kind of like the Jund of this game if you ever played Magic. But yeah, I would definitely. I think that's like what I would pick if you put a gun to my head. Honestly, though, Fi is a sleeper choice that nobody's playing. I'm sure people are playing Fi, but I think Fi is actually a really good choice for this weekend. Hope you were having fun. Thanks, Max. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm having a good night, man. I'm glad to be back at the house after a little family dinner and hanging out playing games with you guys. I was like, I'm always appreciative when everybody's here to like help keep me company and like be a part of the games. Oh boy. This hand is really interesting. Like, no Rabbles, no Snatches, like, no zero cost attacks, all those zero Snatches left in the deck, so I don't know. Usuries is my Jund deck of choice. I mean, that's definitely, like, a good one to pick from, in my opinion. Like, Uzuri is a very, like, Jund-style deck, 100%. Like, plays that mid-rangey, grindy, like, take the value swings when you can have them, like, kind of thing. So... there's not a good line here. Like, truthfully and wholeheartedly, there is not a great line. We know our opponent has a popper. There's just not a great line here. I feel like my hands have been so awkward this game. This might just be a block with everything hand, which is, like, really not good for the tempo, like, my tempo of the game, but... like, this hand can do some good things. Like, I could keep this hand right here and go pitch Rake the Embers to play Lost in Thought, and then pitch this to activate Furnace to attack with Command and Conquer. Like, and this is just 100% just going to be... yeah, like, if this is like a Command and Conquer or a Leave No Witnesses effect, then, like, I am just in the dumps. Like, this is so bad for me. And they've played what? I mean, it could be a Surgical, which is also terrible for me. Shakedown is not good. Commanding, like, that's the problem, is like every single card that they can Azuri in here is like an absolute banger and just blowout. Like, Surgical, Leave No Witnesses, Command and Conquer, and Shakedown are all bad for me here. I don't know. This is tough. I see a better line than you see. Do you, Kyle? What is it, buddy? What's the better line that you see? I'm just blocking 7. If they activate Azuri, it's because they have a Shred. Like, we have one Ash, so, like, I'm not at a point where, like, I can just keep an Asvali. Like, I don't know if I'm, like, playing worse tonight, or if, like, I'm just, like, drawing these, like, really awkward hands. What is this? Like, what is this? I can't even pitch to, like, do anything with this. This is so bad. I do not like that at all. YOLO, no block. It's just 1 damage. Listen, I like the way you live life. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about right there. Like, those are the kind of plays that we need to be making. YOLO, no block, and just pray it's only 1. There is some weird chance it could have just been 1 there, Noel. It could have been an option. Not likely, but possible. I mean, again, like, I think we just have to take it here. Like, so the last card they have is a Down and Dirty. Yep. So we take 3, go to 8. I mean, they'll take the damage here, so make them have it. I mean, hey, man, sometimes that is the play. Sometimes you just have to make them have it. Like, I hear you. Like, that does not feel like one of those hands to me. That did not feel like one of those hands to me. This next Remembrance is going to have to be pretty clutch here. Like, we're going to have some pretty good, like, hit off of Remembrance here to, like, get back some good cards. Command and Conquer, Snatch, Command and Conquer, Sweeping Blow, Billowing Mirage. I was like, there's got to be more attacks. I can feel it. I can feel it. Like, again, this hand's just not great. Like, honestly, this hand to me feels like... Have we blocked with a Burn Them All yet? We have, so we need to keep the last Burn Them All in our deck. Like, block with Lost in Thought, pitch Burn Them All to just play Rake the Embers here. And just, like, try to, like, you know, like, we're just hoping... Like, I know that they probably still have Poppers in their deck, but we're just kind of hoping that they're running low a little bit. And that we're getting to a point to where, like, we can, like, maybe start to, like, overwhelm them with dragons. If we can block effectively enough the rest of the game, like, we're only down 1 card right now. Like, we have a little bit of a board presence here, and we're getting ready to go to 13 cards, and our opponent has 14. And we have a Remembrance left in our deck. So, like... So, all right, they had it down and dirty in Arsenal, which is fine. Like, I mean, it is what it is. We have stuff on the board. And we're playing to that. 3, 4, and then I guess Lost in Thought. I'm just never going to be shuffling in Lost in Thought, it feels like. Okay. So this is actually turned on. Which is, like, kind of crazy, but the problem is that I need to keep my Metamorph here. I can't block with it and be okay. Block Uvia, take 2.
Oh boy.
Go to 4.
I don't know. They got me out of the air, though.
They can't kill me with a Shred here. Like, even the red Shred won't kill me, so, like, that's a positive for us, but... Oh, man. This game has not felt good, and I can't tell if that's, like, because my opponent is playing well, or if because I'm playing poorly, or all of the above, none of the above. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping they decide to, like, kill an Ashwing in Arsenal here. I mean... It's just block 3, I think. Like, thankfully the Flick Knives is gone, so we can never just die to that, but... I mean, at this point, we're just never going to make it to the point where, like, fatiguing them actually matters. Now, unfortunately, there is a... there's actually a... There's actually an attack there. Man, how do they still have Poppers? Good lord. So we're gonna go Dromai, Rake the Embers. And from here, it doesn't matter. We're not shuffling anything back in, so it's literally just making sure we don't have any attacks over here. Because, again, 2 Chromais in one hand. I imagine this is going to be for 7. No, it's go again. Wonder what their last card is. Might be a Shred. Well, no, that's only assassin actions. Lantern into Dragon seems weird to me. I mean, I think it's not a bad play from our opponent here, honestly. Like, Lantern's not bad. Like, it just allows them to, like, Lantern just allows them to, like, actually, like, block our Arcane Barrier, like, and use, like, all of their equipment effectively the same way they would normally, so, I don't know, like, it doesn't seem that crazy to me, like, I guess just, like, looking at it, like, in a nutshell, but I don't know, like, I could be wrong there. Rabble, everything else just does not matter. I was like, I assume they're attacking us at this point. Okay, so block with Dominia. And then when they go for the old Swaparoo here, we're going to play Sand Cover. So that we have Ward 4. Like, I just don't think we're ever going to be able to, like, play our Leave No Witnesses, sadly. And then let's come in for 3 and 1 Arcane. We'll get our action point back. Maybe I'm supposed to attack them with the Ashwing there and say if they want to, like, keep Poppers, they're just going to have to. But I don't know how many Poppers they even have left in their deck. If they have any. I mean, they might. I don't. They do have Poppers left in their deck. I'd rather Null Rune Arms and go Dagger Spam. I mean, that might be a better play. I don't know. Like, our opponent's obviously winning this game, so, like, I think that there's something to speak with for that. But results aren't everything, in my opinion. So the Sigil puts me to 4. And then I go back to 3. Which means if they Azuri something in, I'm not dead to it. So they're not Azuring anything in here, but they're pitching their blues. I think I'm just going to play the Sink Below and just take my chances here. I mean, I think that's just like what it has to be here, is just hope it's not something else. I mean, I guess we'll just keep this. Yeah, I was like, if it's Shred or anything, then like, well, I guess I'm not dead here, technically. I guess I just go to 1, but they're just going to fatigue me at this point. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't feel like I played this game that poorly to get fatigued. This is supposed to be a buy. Like, on almost all scales of the deck, this is a buy in a lot of cases, and I just don't think I played it that poorly, but I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong, but also our opponent has, like, stretched their Poppers out the entire length of the game. How many do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So they have 15 Poppers here, and they were able to fatigue me. Like, I don't think you're supposed to be able to fatigue Dromai on 15 Poppers. Like, I feel like my hand was, like, incredibly weird. Like, I feel like my hands have been, like, incredibly weird all game. But at the same time, like, it is possible that I'm just not playing optimally, and that is, like, costing us games. Like, I still have my snaps over here, which tells me I didn't play, like, completely optimally, or, like, I'd still have my snaps, but like, it is so obnoxious because now this is just going to get cards out of my hand. Like, we're now at, like, the Kadachi lock stage of the game, so I just am forced to give them this. Yeah, I'm just like, this has to be me. This technically plays around like them having like a Leave No Witnesses or something like that. Leave No Witnesses or Surgical here, so I was like, technically leaves me in the game for another turn, which doesn't really matter. They have cards and I don't here. I think Azuri players are getting better myself. Then again, Dromai loses to random BS. I mean, yeah, like, Dromai does, like, lose to, like, some random stuff. Like, I think losing this game is a prime example of that. Like, I don't think that Dromai is supposed to lose this game. In fact, the the 2 games I've played against Azuri and the 2 games I've played against Arachne, as a Dromai have just like been like wallopings. Like I have just like absolutely like obliterated my opponent. Every single time it's been a landslide. And like now, like this is like I could tell that the game was not going the way I wanted it to. Like I could feel it. Like throughout the course of the game, it was very clear that like the game was not going the way I needed it to be. But I could just never have a turn where I could get anything going. Like I tried to sit on like a mirror guy for a few turns. It's also impossible to arsenal against Zuri. So yeah, it doesn't matter. And then we have nothing to draw up, and they're just going to dagger us, and we're dead here. Sad days are sad. Dude, are you serious? Nah, dude. Like, you can end the game and have a little bit of decency. Nah, none of this BM crap. People can take that trash somewhere else, dude. Like, when you got lethal rolled up, just actually like take lethal there. That's just I don't know. Like, you're pretty toxic in my opinion if you just BM people playing card games. Like, you want to BM somebody, go play Call of Duty or Fortnite or like a shooter game. Those are the toxic communities. Cards are not toxic. Like, that's not how it's supposed to be when you play cards. I don't put up with that shit when I play cards. Let's see. Awkward hands. Probably played suboptimally. Couldn't gain tempo. Okay, so this was a good game for me to play, though. I'm glad that I got to play this game because it taught me that, like, it's not always free and that, like, I need to make sure I'm focusing and playing to my full potential there. Although it's crazy. I've been streaming an hour and 12 minutes and I played 1 game. Well, like 1.5 games because that guy quit. I have yet to play the mirror. I have no idea how this is supposed to go. Icelander days, dude. I loved Icelander days, man. Like when she was like running Supreme, I was all about that. Providence seems good, but I also feel like I also want Crown to like, is this just 72 cards? I know that kind of sounds crazy, but like, is this just like, do I cut Warmongers and the Dusts and just run 69 cards? Like, their Mize are awkward, but I think I just want cards in my deck. We're going to be running Remembrance here. Maybe I just want Dust as a 3-block. Maybe I'm just literally supposed to run 71 cards into my opponent. And then I have access to 5 Poppers, so that's not great. I only have 5 Poppers, but I have 2 Remembrance, so I don't know. Like, I really don't know anything about the mirror. Let's try it and see what happens here. Like, we'll... Are they leading on Tome? Dromai, Talishar. I'm playing against Dromai, and I'm going second. I'm curious. I'm intrigued that they're playing Tome on turn 0. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really like feel like Tome on turn 0. Interesting. This is really something else to witness. Yeah. Like, maybe I don't want passing mirages in the mirror. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut passing mirages in the mirror. I really don't know. If I'm being honest, I just truly don't know. Was really interesting to watch them play Tome and then go back-to-back this round's on me. So, what does this just say? Attacks that target you have -1. So all of my attacks have -1 or -2, I guess. Which, like, is fine, but... I haven't left a Necria in this matchup, so... I mean, yeah, like, I have the Fate Foreseen. I guess we'll leave that on top. I don't know. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Hand is right, dude. We just had 6 cards in our hand. Felt like a Magic hand if I've ever seen one. We'll just go ahead and block here. We'll play Sigil, go to 43. And then I am going to pitch Snatch to activate Furnace to gain an Ash here. Then we know we have a Dromai on top. So it's like, depending on what we draw, we could try to make something happen. I could pitch both of my dragons to activate the gold token here to draw a card, and then play Passing Mirage. I could also try to like put a dragon into play. Asvali is a very good dragon to have on board because it helps deal with your opponent's Ashwings. So I'm just going to play Passing Mirage and pass here, and if our opponent wants to kill it, that's like totally fine with me. I'm going to Arsenal the Tome. Tome is really good. If we're lucky, we won't, like, our opponent can set up a little bit here and we won't have to block a ton. Dust up at our opponent's attacks. Our opponent's dragons are very good because this allows us to make an Ashwing. This is going to be a very long game. Like, it's my understanding that this will be an incredibly long game and that there's going to be nothing fast about this, so... So our opponents pitched 2 Asvalis for the late game, which I think they understand that this is going to be like a longer game. Allure of Darkness. I need to stop with the Yu-Gi-Oh riffs. I was like, dude, isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh card? I was like, isn't that just like straight up a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Yeah, I'm just gonna take this. We'll take the 1 here. We have 3 Ash, so I'm pretty interested in using my Tome to like set up a pretty explosive like hand here. So let's think about what we can do here. If I pitch Sandcover Miragai, I can So if I pitch Sandcover and Miragai, I get to play Sweeping Blow and hit them. Play Yindarai. Pitch Dust Up to activate Furnace, and then play Uvia, and then attack the Ashwing with them, attack their Ashwing, and then attack the Yindarai at them. I think that's like a perfectly fine play here. Let's attack them. Let's try to put some pressure on our opponent here. Yeah, Max, you said Allure of Darkness, and I immediately was like, I think that's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, dude. So, play Yindarai. Play the Uvia. Make an Ashwing. Attack their Ashwing with our Ashwing. It's just basic economics. And then let's attack our opponent with the Yindarai. I mean, they could very well have a popper. I don't know if like I was like, I don't know how many they're on, but I was like, I know that we have 5. So I was like, we're not looking at too many, honestly. Okay. The fact that they're playing Rake the Embers here is awesome because it allows for our Azvalai to just like completely clean this up, which is really cool. So attack with Azvalai and our Uvia, hit Uvia and the Ashwing here. Yep, hit Uvia and the Ashwing. Makes sense. Uvia goes to 3. Then he's going to hit Uvia with 2 Ashwings and then send an Ashwing at us. And then this dies. Felt like they only needed to hit that once. Tome feel like that. I mean, if you're talking about like Tome feeling powerful, yeah, like Tome like was very good. Like that was a very good turn cycle for us with the Tome. So play Azvalai. I don't understand. Okay, so I get to kill 2 Ashwings here. And wait, what is happening? I am so confused. Okay, so I'm choosing this for the attack. Okay, I'm seeing what's happening now. I'm seeing where my confusion is. And then okay. That was me not completely understanding how this works on Talishar. And then I guess I'm actually just going to throw the 7 at them. This will leave us with 4 Ash on the field. And they have their second Pauper. My opponent's Paupers are really lining up tonight. Like, Paupers are not really favoring us tonight at all. Like, I'm not even talking about this game. Like, even last game, like, my opponent's Paupers lined up super effectively. Like, super effectively. So they'll hit Azvalai, I assume. I was like with the Necria here. Time for me to lay down into bed. Cat is getting mad. Dude, I completely understand. When Taryn gets tired and ready to go to bed, dude, she is ready to go to bed. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate Oh, I thought you meant you were like getting off for the night, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate it a bunch. I can't just like take all of this damage. Maybe I'm just supposed to block 3. Maybe I'm supposed to take 3 and just play the Thermai and the Chromai and just try to keep his board clear. I mean, they're tougher dragons to deal with, so like... I also just need to like draw a Pauper when I can like try to get rid of something here. Like there's only 5, so like I guess it's not super crazy that I haven't drawn one here, but at the same time, like... So play the Thermai. And then I assume we're just killing the Necria here, since it basically just kills everything on board. Maybe I'm just supposed to like kill the Dromai and an Ashwing. Honestly, I kind of think that's the play. Like, I hate to like not be able to get the Necria off the board, but like if we draw a Pauper, like then we're able to just kind of like try and clear a dragon or two here. I think I just have to like... Maybe I'm just supposed to use Tome to like get value here. So Necria at Dromai, Dromai, Dromai. Their extra action point here with that is like extremely valuable for them. Extremely valuable. I mean, I guess I should just like posture that I'm trying to save a Pauper here for the Necria. My opponent also has 2 cards in hand that they haven't played, so I don't really know like what's coming after all of this. Pretty surprised that they're throwing this at me. I think I just have to try and make this Tome turn good enough. Like, I've played an Asvalai and put an Asvalai on the bottom, so I'm hoping to find another Asvalai here. Asvalai, Rake the Embers, anything like that would be good. Oh, wow. Playing Dromai, or playing Remembrance very early. What do you shuffle in? Asvalai, Rake, and Tome. We're going to need to make this pretty good. So, pitch, burn, burn. Activate Furnace.
Definitely Kyle's kid.
Let's kill the Dromai. Let's kill an Ashwing. This is going to be a lot of board control. And then let's hit the Necria. Just going to go ahead and play Sigil, go back to 32. We'll draw a card, kill this, and then we can arsenal the Uvia pretty safely here. Okay. We're doing what we can. Like, that's all I can really say about this at this point, is that we're doing what we can. Now, unfortunately, our opponent has an Ashwing in 5 cards, so, like, we're kind of always at their mercy here. Okay, Burn Them All's good, but, like, not terrifying, honestly. He's hitting the Dromai, which makes sense. Like, he wants to be killing my Dromai. Okay, that's all 3 Dromais. I assume this is coming at Caloria. And I really hope so, because we get to have a pretty cool turn here. Okay, so he's going to send both of the Ashwings at my Caloria here. And then, yet again, we are pauperless, so... I could block with the passing Mirage here. Because I have 4 Ash. This goes to 3. I go back up to 4 and then lose and go up to 5, then down to 2. Play this, I go down to 1 and then down to 0. So I add quite a bit to the board here if I take this. I think I have to take this, honestly. Like, okay, so that's one popper they've pitched. So let's go. I guess I could just play the passing Mirage here. I don't actually need to, like, play the Uvia here. So we're going to attack the Dromai, and then the Arcane is going to be at the Dromai here. We're actually just going to throw the Arcane at them. I think that's a better line for us. Because we can still kill all their Ashwings. We don't actually have to, like, pitch anything to kill their Ashwings here. Like, we don't actually have to, like, use the Asvali. We can just do this, and then we'll just go ahead and kill one of them. I mean, like, it's there. We might as well. We'll send this at an Ashwing. I'm honestly kind of tempted to, like, throw another one at them. Like, let's just try to push it here, I think. Like, I was like, the odds of them having another popper is not super likely, so I'm just, like, pretty tempted to try and get a, like, I don't really know if it's getting greedy, but it is a little greedy to some extent. I just don't think it's a super greedy play here, so... This is going to kill the Asvali, without a doubt. Going to use Tome here to just, like, put Dominia into play, which is really good for us. That's a very good swing for us. Oh, man, this is a tough matchup. There's a lot of, like, thought that goes into this. I guess we're going to be using Remembrance to shuffle back in. Okay, so they're attacking me. Interesting.
What's happening? Why is it doing that? Whoa, boy.
Depends on what their last card is and why they left the Ashwings or not.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even hit boost.
Let's do this. Let's get Furnace and Lost in Thought here. Okay. That honestly makes me wonder if they're on 3 copies of Remembrance. I'm only on 2 copies of Remembrance, so... Dromai. Okay, so they're just trying to shuffle cards in when they pop up.
Seriously, there's another plane?
I mean, I still think we can still play the Dominia here, which is pretty good value, all things considered. So we pitch these.
Expect it to keep going. Can you not fly? Sorry, that's my bad.
And then we get to attack them and take a card out of their hand. More than likely, anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I mean, banishing that seems pretty good. This is no Phantasm, which is really cool. I could have alternatively opted to take their Pauper there, but I don't really think that was our play. And then I'm just going to pass. Drawing the Remembrance off the tome was very awkward there. Pauper. Okay. So we know that they're going to attack our Dominia here.
Oh, it worked out.
So if I pitch Nourishing Emptiness here, I can go Dromai Caloria. And keep this off the board. I could alternatively play Rake here and try to like really get ahead on Ashwings. Might have been correct to play the Uvia here. So I go down to 4, activate Furnace, play the Uvia, and then transform one of these into an Ashwing, and then I guess I'm going to attack them for no Phantasm on the very first one here. We'll just send it to them because we know we can. And then we'll send Caloria at the Necria here. We'll also send this at the Necria. And then I'm going to send my last Ashwing at them. Or I have 2 Ashwings left, but I'm going to send one at them and see what they do here. They take this, go to 28. I'm going to swing my last Ashwing at them. And then if they pass, like if they don't like do anything, I'm just going to say, okay, I'm not going to attack with my Uvia. There's never a world where I'm going to give them a chance to get my Uvia here. Yep. Could copy Passing Mirage if they bust it. They're also playing Vincerikai. They're on a very interesting list. I have an interesting decision. Is it my Uvia or is it my Ashwings? I think this is just a play. we don't really have a way to give go again without playing the Miraging Metamorph somehow, unless they attack us and give us the opportunity to try and sink below the Command and Conquer here. I could also just throw the Command and Conquer. Like, I really am not a huge fan of that play, but... Okay, they killed the Caloria. There's a dust up on top for them, which is very good. And this is going to come in at the Uvia, I'm sure. So because of Passing Mirage, I actually get to throw this at them with 0 downfall, which is awesome. Wasn't even thinking about the Passing Mirage, but I can snap this. And then just kill one of their Ashwings, which I think this is a pretty decent use of snaps here, honestly. Like, they managed to kill all of my dragons that turn, which is like a pretty big bummer, honestly. I mean, this card just basically says block 3. We had quite a bit of board presence going there ahead of our opponent, but unfortunately, they were able to kind of clear that up. This is also my first time ever playing the Dromai Mirror. I mean, this hand kind of sucks. Like, maybe you don't want D-Reacts in this matchup? I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know. Maybe, like, D-Reacts are just, like, bad and you don't want them in this matchup. Dromai Mirror is all about not playing your board first, but sometimes it's kind of inevitable. I mean, so I've heard people say that before, that, like, the Dromai Mirror is, like, all about, like, who gets to, like, it's all about being reactive and putting stuff on the board second so that you can clear stuff up. Which is, like, always, like, it's, like, such an interesting concept to me. I think we're just taking 2 here. I'm pretty surprised they attacked with that, to be honest. We're going to play our Sink Below and put our Sink Below on the bottom. God, that's really bad. I mean, like, I want to play this, but I also just need to put my Yindarai into play to deal with the Asvalai that they have. Like... Let's attack Mirror Guy. Yeah, Popper on top, so that's pretty good for us. That's a pretty No, I don't want to end my turn. I hate when I click too many times like that. Two poppers in this hand. Ugh. It's definitely not what we want to see. We don't want double popper in a hand. I mean, our opponent might come up with a hand that, like, makes us happy that we have double popper here, but I don't know. And they almost immediately do with the Dromai. Okay, so they're going to get that aim counter off it. I imagine they're going to throw the Dromai at Yindarai here. Yeah, they guarantee themselves the extra action point this way. And they're going to attack me. I'm going to give them the popper that they know about because of the Ravenous Rabble. And I'm going to hold on to the Command and Conquer in hopes that they throw another one at us. Just like this. So double popper was actually insanely good right there for us. We're going to play Mirror Guy. Staying Ash neutral at 4. We're going to kill their Dromai and we're going to pass. I mean, we're both at 20. Like, and we still have 2 copies of Remembrance left in our deck, which, like, may play better to the late game. I'm not sure. Honestly, this has been a different game, to say the least. So they're attacking Mirror Guy, making another Ash. We really want to see like an Asvalai or like I know that both of our Raked Ambers that are left in our deck are on the bottom because I pitched them. Set it up that way intentionally. But I guess with 2 copies of Remembrance, I'm just supposed to play my cards and then shuffle them back in. I'm not supposed to like actually like try to take like a grindy or defensive stance. Which is like, I don't know, it's like such a weird concept to think about for me. Like, I just like can't imagine a world where it's like, yeah, I want to run out of my cards out and then I just want to play Remembrance. But that might be what the mirror is. I don't know. Like, I've never played the mirror before, so like our opponent definitely has the tempo, but like we're like 1 decent turn away from being able to like turn this around. We're definitely gonna block this. So I'm going to block with Burn Them All, and then I'm going to pitch the Dromai for Seeker's Mitts here. We're going to put that on the bottom. We already have one in play, so we don't need another one by any means here. Let's let us prevent the Dust Up on hit. And again, I'm just going to run out my Mirror Guy. It's harder to kill than other dragons, so I like putting it in play.
I just look over and I see just Ben and this guy.
Although, admittedly, I would have loved to have seen it with this hand. Like, I don't really know if Tumultai is like that backbreaking in this matchup. There's still 3 poppers left in our deck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we've only seen a 2, and they came in the same hand, which is so weird. Like, it was even weirder that, like, seeing them in the same hand was that good for us. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be that good in that moment, but, like, having them both in the same hand was, like, very valuable for us based off of the way their hand was set up. I imagine their turn will probably be adding a couple dragons to the board and killing my Mirror Guy in some fashion. I feel like I'm hitting hitting the space bar, but I guess it's not working. I don't know. Tumultai and Snatch, and then they activate Furnace to go up to 3 resources. Dromai is completely fine here. I mean, okay. It's a lot of stuff to add to the board, but I think we can deal with most of it. So I think I have to keep my hand here, honestly. Maybe I can block. No, like, so if I block with Billowing Mirage, my hand is kill the Dromai with the Ravenous Rabble, pitch Billowing Mirage. They're attacking the Mirror Guy here, so like I guess that's gonna save us some. What does it say? Technically, gain control of an item they control. If you don't, do we have any items? No. Okay, so kill the Mirror Guy, so that's no longer on the table. I think I need to play both the Billowing Mirages here. Because if I play both the Billowing Mirages, I can kill all 3 of the actual dragons and leave their Ash Wings in play. But that does require me to take 8, go to 10. God, I mean, I guess I could give up Furnace if I need to here. Then that's attack that for 4. attack that for 3, and then kill an Ashwing. And so I have an Ashwing, and then they have a Chromai and an Ether Ashwing. No, like, I think I just have to take all of this, like, which is sad, because, like, I think that's, like, the only line where, like, I can actually try to get all this stuff off the board. I haven't had a single Remembrance hand where I could have played it. I mean, I guess I could have played it on the tome turn, and, like, well, no, I couldn't have, because it was do nothing. It was, like, literally do nothing. Oh my god, this is so bad. I mean, yeah, like this game's over, but, like, I have to get this stuff off the board. Like, my opponent has had tempo all game. Like, they've clearly played the Dromai matchup more than me, but at the same time, like... But, like, my hand, like, again, my hands have felt so awkward tonight. Let's go ahead and hit Kyloria. I mean, I think killing Kyloria is just the best play here. Like, I know that Chromai gives them extra action points, but I just think we have to. I think, like, this is just how things have to be.
Why is it called Mini God? It's not very mini.
Well, I could have left the Kyloria in play, knowing that we were going to draw two Sink Pillows here. Gosh, Break the Embers here is so bad. Like, I can't. Probably not a world where, like, we're keeping our board, or, like, where we're gonna, like, be able to keep multiple cards here. This isn't me. I think I'm just gonna sink below the Fate Foreseen here in hopes of finding a Pauper. Well, we don't find a Pauper, but... Well, that's game, right? I mean, I guess it's technically not game, but... So if I block with... Dust Up? Even if I block with a Dust Up here, I have to block with a Snatch. Or I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna concede. This game's over. Like... That, like, again, like, I feel like I need to go back and watch that game somewhere, because, like, there's no way that I played that completely optimally. Like, I can feel it that I'm not playing optimally tonight. Like I can't look at the game and tell you where I did, but I can feel that I am making misplays in some way. Like, but my hands have also felt super awkward tonight. Like, maybe that's something I really need to, like, try and drill down on while, like, technically, like, I'm during an off season. Is, like, what's the best play when my hand is awkward and makes some weird plays? I don't know. Awkward hands. Probably misplayed a few times. Opponent played Remembrance first cycle. Again, like, so I don't know if that, like, I mean, that was definitely relevant, because my opponent was seeing cards during their, like they were, like, just seeing more cards when I wasn't, because of their Remembrance. Like, they were seeing cards they'd already played. And so, like, that was tough. That was tough for us. Also, like, Paupers were non-existent that game. We saw a whole bunch of cards. And just, like, could not get there. Felt like pretty awkward. So I think we want Crown here. I wonder if this is the same guy that was in... I wonder if that's Null. I wonder if that's Null from earlier. We'll run Seeker's Mitts here. And we'll run Crown of Dominion. Let's tell our opponent I'm boarding here. Again, Remembrance is not necessary. Hey, Agrablaze, wasn't watching the stream, but good game. Oh, thanks, man. Was that you, dude? Dude, you absolutely crushed me that game. You absolutely crushed me that game, dude. That was tough, man. That was tough. That was definitely payback for last night. I feel like I couldn't get anything going, but I also feel like I'd be silly to think that I didn't make some misplays along the way. So, I don't know. I guess if we're going to have Warmongers in, it's in this matchup. We'll just run the 61 card special here. You had a swing back in the middle. Oh yeah, you were the Dromai. Yeah, so I saw it pop up and say Drew, and I like literally out loud I went, I wonder if that's Drew. Like when I saw your name pop up. So yeah, dude, you like definitely gave it to me right there. That was not a good looking game for me. So I made a comment halfway through the game that I think I need to take out the D-Reacts as well. And I made a comment like about halfway through the game that I was like, man, my D-Reacts do not feel good here. I guess we're playing the Caloria. Maybe we're playing the Mirror guy. I guess let's play the Mirror guy here. I'm gonna Arsenal the Nourishing Emptiness here. The Nourishing Emptiness is a 2 for 6 right here with like not guaranteed on hit dominate because they do have quite a bit of equipment, but I do like the like making them block with equipment on non-dragon attacks here. I think that's very good. I guess I probably should have just played the Nourishing there. Maybe that was a better play. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I was just saying that I'm not playing optimally, and like I just had turn 1 Nourishing and didn't play it. Like, I don't know what is going on with me right now. I'm just not playing very well tonight. I mean, there's always days like this, but I'm definitely feeling it right now for some reason. Like, just playing super awkward. So block 6, take 1. Nebula Blade kills Mirror Guy. And then I'll just throw the Nourishing Emptiness here. I think that's the most correct play. I don't know. Yeah, playing a dragon on turn 0 against Viscerai just gives them a Mauvrian hit usually. That makes a lot of sense. Do you play a lot of Dromai, Drew? Like, I can only assume that this is going at the Mirror guy. Yeah. Like, and they get an extra rune chant going into their turn, so that's kind of tough. Now, Viscerai likes to, like, have as many cards as possible, so, like, I'm hoping that, like, getting a card out of their hand might make their hand a little awkward here, but it probably won't, realistically. Like, Viscerai plays very well off of 3-card hands, so give me a 3-block, a Grasp, and the Ironweave here. Even if your hand is, like, bottom of the barrel, you can stop this by blocking with creepers if they want to. I just can't imagine there's a world where like they want to give up creepers. Not a good Viscerai player in my opinion. And they have the cash in here, which is like actually just like insane. Cash in Viscerai with Nebula Blade is really neat. So they go up to 2 rune chants. Okay. Did they go... Wow. 4 non-attacks. Or 3 non-attacks. The Sonata went to banished. Wow, that's unfortunate. Sorry, bud. I have been there. I have been the Viserai player that happens to. It's very disappointing. It's very disheartening, too. Oh, man.
I have two roots.
Guess we'll just give the Fate Foreseen here. Like, because if we let this hit, it's worth 2 rune chance. So it's worth 6 points if we let it hit here, and I don't like that at all. So play Mirror Guy, pitching, Command and Conquer, attack for 2, no Phantasm, and then we'll attack with the Dust Up here. Go ahead and write this game down on my log here. Dromai, Talishar, Viserai, and we went first. Hopefully not to my demise. I mean, if it is to my demise, it's to my own demise of stupidity here, not because of any other reason. Like, D-Reacts definitely cost me the last game. That, and I would imagine some suboptimal play somewhere along the way. And then when you pair that with having D-Reacts in my deck, just got put in a very awkward spot very quickly. Am I lagging here? Nope. Here's my opponent is thinking here on what they want to be doing. I mean, they could give Graspin a card here and like take a safer bet. Yeah, I don't know. I guess our opponent's like really in the tank here about what they should be doing. I mean, I get it. I've been there. Sometimes you really just got to take a moment and figure out what the best line is. The more times that I do that over the course of a night when I'm playing games, the better off my record is going to be. So block 6. I mean, like, the floor of our hand looks like block 6, attack with Snatch. My hand could also be block with Uvia, throw the Miraging Metamorph for 7, and then Arsenal Tome. I think either way, we're looking to Arsenal our Tome here. Like, I definitely think that's where we're going to be at this turn. So we take the Rune Chant. This is 3 draw card. Let's block with Uvia. I mean, that was like, if they're going to give us the 1 for 7, let's take the 1 for 7. And I'm sure they have poppers in their deck. Like, they probably have like the one that attacks for 9. Like, they probably have some like decent cards in their deck. Since they only have creepers to block with, I could have thrown Snatch and activated Snapdragon Scalers. But I think I'd rather attack for 7 and hope that they don't have a popper. So if they want to block, they're forced to give us like multiple cards here. Or they can just take 7, go to 31, and then I have a Tobe at Arsenal. Okay, so they did have a popper. Runic Reclamation is a good one that they play. Okay. So this is going to be something we want to block. Is that a red Mauvrian Skies into a blue Meet and Greet? Yep. So Arknight Shard puts them up to 2, and then they're gonna hit. They're gonna get what? Jesus. 4 more after this, go up to 6. It's actually like insane. Now the Nebula Blade has to hit this if they want to kill the mirror guy. But they're probably okay with that because this is just 6 rune chance that I'm taking. Alright, we're gonna have to try and use Tome here to like get a turn going. Because I think that's all we have. Like I think we need Tome to get something going here. We're down 14 points, like yeah, let's pitch 2 red cards. Let's pitch a Fate Foreseen and a Sink Below. So I can play Sigil, activate Furnace, play Caloria, attack, and then play Nourishing Emptiness, and then Arsenal the next tome. Or I could play this tome to really try and get things going. I don't know if double tome, like we'd go up to 5 and then down to 3. I think at this point it might just be card disadvantage. Like, we're drawing 2 and then pitching 2, so like, it's not like it's like, I mean, we're just going down a card at this point. Let's really hope our opponent doesn't have a popper here. Yeah, I mean, we've only put 3 dragons in play, and they've had 3 poppers, so, like, I just... There's not much I can do about that. Like, I know that Viserai, like, gets to play, like, 6 to 9 comfortably, but, like... I mean, I guess they've only given us 2. Did they pitch one early? Maybe they didn't, and I'm just going crazy. We're just gonna safely block 3 here to stop the on-hit effect. Might try to Arsenal a Sand Cover if we're able to. Like, and the rune chants are just kind of like giving me, like, taking life points here. If I go to 21, I'm not giving them any extra rune chance, but if they come in with the Nebula Blade here, then I can actually use Sand Cover to block the Nebula Blade. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I think we're just taking the 6 rune chance, and then we're just gonna use the we're gonna use the Sand Cover here to like try and block effectively. Although with the Revel, like, the Sand Cover is like just 4 life. I mean, I think we're still gonna play the Sand Cover here. Man, this is not going well for me. Yeah, let's pitch 2 red cards here. Let's pitch Rabble and Rake. Play a Rake. Please don't have a popper. Like, just like step 1 here, they didn't have a popper, so that's good for us. We also now have Arcane Barrier in play, so that's kind of cool. Not that we're really looking to like AB every turn, but it can be worth it in spots. So Tumultide, Dominia, and Necria are the cards that we cannot play here if I snap. And if they're going to let this hit and I play snap, if I use Snap to give it go again. Okay, so they're not going to let it hit. Okay. Again, interesting they give up creepers. Like, I really... I don't know. Like, that's... Creepers has a lot of value, so I'm always surprised to see people give that up in certain spots. Okay. Malvern Skies means they might send a weaker attack at one of our Ash Wings just to guarantee the 3 rune chance here. So if they have like another Spellblade Strike, like a Spellblade Assault, something like that. So they are sending the 3 at us. Okay. It's just so good. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're blocking this here. Guess I'm going to bottom one of the Burn Them Alls here. Like, Burn Them All's good, but I don't think I want 2 of them in play. So Burn Them All. Ravenous Rabble. There's a Tumble Tie on top. And I have 2 Ash Wings in play. I mean, like... the Tumble Tie is not really looking to do a lot from here. Like, there's not really a lot that, like, Tumble Tie is looking to do. The Warmonger's Diplomacy actually can provide quite a bit of value for us here. Yep, our opponent said they're thinking here, no problem. Completely understand. If they have a popper, like, it's interesting to me because, like, throwing Ash Wings means we can't play the Diplomacy, but playing Diplomacy, like, pretty much shuts their turn down. Like, Viscerai can't really do anything into Diplomacy here. Now, we do have to, like, kind of be careful with what we pick. Because if we run it out and we pick War, like, we don't really, like, if we don't draw attacks, we don't have anything to do. But if we draw 3 dragons, and we also, like, if we pick War and we draw 3 dragons, we're screwed. If we pick Peace and we draw 3 attack actions, we're screwed. Like, so, I don't know. I don't, like, this person had a 1 of Warmonger's Diplomacy in their sideboard. I don't really understand why. Like, this was, I think this was Guy's list from top 8 of Battlehard in Pittsburgh. Or, yeah, I think it was Guy's list. So... like, I'm sure he had it in here for a reason. Honestly, what I need to do is I need to find somebody's Dromai list that has, like, a sideboard guide completely put together. And they're like, hey, play these cards then and do this and do this. And so, like, I think that would help me a lot. Oh, man. I'm just going to have to take a little bit of a chance here. All right, in the dark, I'm going Peace. Just hoping for the best. I mean, this isn't bad. Yeah, I was like, you picked War, so you can't do anything other than play attacks or activate Nebula Blade. Which is kind of nice for me. Because it means I can just play Kaloria and Asvalite here and just set up a little bit. Take 2. I mean, I technically could just pitch 2 cards here. They're just attacking an Ashwing here. So I should have pitched 1 at least. Guess I should have looked in the chat to see. And then I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here and Arsenal the Metamorph. Got a little bit of a board presence going now. Like, we're also down 22 points, which is just probably going to be our downfall. Like, our Viserai opponent has just gotten very ahead very quickly here tonight. Like, in this game, and it's just like, it's just put us on the back foot so badly. So badly. Yeah, I got this game over here. Okay. You know, part of me is kind of tempted to, like, actually, like, wake up at, like, 3 a.m. and just, like, watch Worlds. If I didn't actually have to work so much tomorrow, I probably would. But I have a lot of meetings I have to be in tomorrow that I actually have to be awake for, and, like, there's so much happening at work right now, I just can't sleep in between meetings or anything like that. It would be fun to, like, be able to wake up at, like, you know, like, set an alarm for 3 a.m., roll out of bed and watch Worlds. It'd be pretty cool. I feel like that'd be a pretty cool way to, like, start the weekend, honestly. I'm just gonna have to, like, wake up and, like, you know, catch the recap of stuff and see how it looks. Jesus. So, I mean, it's 8 rune chance. Like, I don't know. This might just be like a go to 1 moment. Phew. And he's gonna kill my Asvalai here. My opponent, like, I have, like, no blues in my deck to, like, AB. My opponent has, like, completely beaten me off the back of rune chance this game. Like, it has almost been, like, exclusively the rune chants that have beaten me. Pitch Dust Up and Sink Below. Activate Furnace. Play Lost in Thought. He has Vexing Malice, Cash In, Spellblade Strike, Mordred Tide. Take the Vexing Malice here. All right. I mean, it's a little too late, but we're trying to make something happen here if we can this late in the game. Doesn't seem very likely, but you never know. It would be a completely crazy game if we actually managed to win this one somehow. One and one Arcane. And then, I mean, I guess we're just coming in for 7 because it's more and they can't pop this. Arsenal the Command and Conquer. Let's see. We need to get rid of attacks. 1, 2, 3. Make sure that we're keeping our lane clear here for our make sure we're keeping our lane clear for I'm having a stroke. Ah! Nourishing Emptiness. Lord. My brain was just like not braining right there at all. Block Rake the Embers and let's block Uvia and Furnace. Let's block this out. Our opponent has 4 rune chance. Big Sag for us. And then they're probably going to arsenal their last card here. If they don't, it's almost exclusively a Pauper. Now, they probably have a Pauper here if I was guessing, but... And then we'll go ahead and flip this. The crazy thing is, like, they can just block this and then pop something and then still just come in with Nebula Blade and 4 rune chance. And, like, unless I draw, like, the random passing Mirage or something that's in my deck, like, it's almost, like, just explicitly bad for me. So our opponent takes 3. I mean, am I at a point where, like, I'm just not going to win if I don't do this? Like, I'm just hoping to, like, dodge and duck here. I think the CNC play is just better in case they want to keep their arsenal here. They don't want to keep their arsenal at all. Okay, I mean, Revel was definitely just kind of like, that was win more for sure. Like, Sigil is actually insanely clutch right here. Okay, you can stop. Oh, man. This is really bad for me. Okay, play Sigil. Activate Furnace. Go to 3. Go to 1. And then die because this is for 4. So the crazy part is like that was probably like one of the best like blocking hands I could have had for like Arcane Barrier that game, and it just did not pan. Like, that game was tough. Like, I can't tell, like my opponent like definitely played that really well. Like, my opponent like 100% played that well, because like my opponent was like blocking when necessary and wasn't really like pressuring me with their attacks. They were pressuring me with all of the rune chance they had, based off of the fact that I only had like 4 blues in my list. So I was never in a spot where I could pitch a blue to like AB3 and like try to stay in a safe place. And we were trading, and my opponent had a lot of poppers early, and then they were just putting us on the back foot with all of the rune chance there. Like, it was a really well played game by my opponent, and like I think that like I just never, like, the poppers came at a good times for them, and I was never able to establish tempo. But Viscerai does get to play like 9, so like it's not crazy to think that they had them at multiple turns. So opponent played really well, popped early, and used rune chance to pressure me. Yeah, so man, 0-3 tonight. Shoo! 0-3 tonight is not where we wanted to be. GG went ahead and paused the stream during the match. I high rolled kind of early and never lost tempo with those draws. I also provided I also avoided letting you grab any Ash Wings early, as early AB makes my match extra tough. Dude, so Noel, that was a great game, dude. I was just talking about like how like you played that very well. Like you like I don't know that you like really high rolled or anything. Like you had a couple of like good turns, but like they like I don't think they were like, you know, like top tier of like, you know, the Viscera ceiling. Like you had some good turns, but like nothing crazy. And you were definitely able to get tempo early on in the game, and like that gave you like a good spot. But yeah, I don't know, like I was definitely on the back foot the entire game. I could feel it, and you were using Rune Chants really well to pressure me instead of using your attacks. Because if you throw your attacks at me, I can sink below them, I can do this, I can do that. But Mauvrion Skies was just creating like 3 free damage for you every time something hit, and it was really good, man. You played that really well. Like I tip my hat to you. You played that really well, man. That was a good game. I enjoyed it. Well, guys, that's it for the night. It's 11:30 and I gotta work tomorrow, so I'm gonna call it a night. Sorry I went 0-3 tonight. Tonight was not a great night for me. 0-3 was definitely not what I had in mind. I was hoping for a little bit of a better record. So now I'm 12 games in and I'm 8-4. So gonna take a little bit of a step back here, look at the list, maybe see if there's something that I can change, feel like might fit better in a certain spot. Learned a lot about the Dromai mirror tonight, and I learned a lot that Rune Chants are tough to deal with if you're Dromai, even if you have the AB. So with my lack of blues, it's just tough to keep up with that kind of stuff. Definitely not crazy turns, but we don't have to present enough damage and killing dragons on board. This list has been feeling okay in the Dromai, but nothing like how Rosetta was. Dude, Rosetta was insane, Noel. Rosetta was absolutely insane, brother. Rosetta just like gave you so much value into so many matchups. Like, it was probably one of the best weapons like that's been printed to date. Like, obviously, like short of Duskblade, in my opinion. But it, like, yeah, like Rune Blades everywhere, feeling the missing the pieces of Rosetta Thorn. But yeah, no, it was a good game, man. Thanks for hanging out tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys being part of the stream. I will not be back tomorrow. I will be back this weekend, though. I was like, me and Carly are hanging out around the house, so I'll be back to play some cards and probably some Fortnite on Saturday. So hope everybody has a good Friday, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. Take it easy, guys.